Okay, that's the quiz. Everybody finished? Okay, we'll start the homework. One moment. All right, here we go. Might have to move through class a little fast today. I'm a little busy. Um, I will read the questions then, and then y'all can read the answers. How about that? All right, here we go. The term valid or correct perception, tema in Tibetan or pramana in Sanskrit, is sometimes used with reference not to a state of mind, but to Buddha, the Buddha himself. This is because of the special objects towards which only a Buddha has correct perception. Describe the two parts of this object. Maria asked this question on Friday, right, Maria?
Yes. Good morning.
Morning. Well, here's your answer. I think question two goes more into it as well. Anybody know the two parts of this object?
They are the deceptive truth and the ultimate truth as well.
Okay, what does that mean?
It means that Buddha see the nominally one and the ultimate existing things at the same time.
That is true. Um, okay, good. Um, read this, Jessica.
He sees the totality of all objects, referring to all the things but belong to our nominal world,
Normal.
normal. So
Yeah, good. No, there's different ways you could say it in Tibetan, but you could say Kunzab Dempa. You could also say Jine, all the things that uh totality, Jine, the total amount of everything, something like that. Let's see. Look, Jine. Um, read this, Jessica, please.
Gene picture
Yeah, what's ch here?
so is the existing things.
Yeah, it's stuff. It's literally things in this case. And G Nepa, G means like how or how ever. Nye in this case means amount. So however however amount of things there are, Jinepe, the total amount of things. Okay, and then the opposite of that would be uh how things are, like how they exist. Um, read this, Jessica.
He sees all existing things as they are really are, referring to the emptiness or the ultimate nature of all the objects around us.
Yeah, good. And what's the opposite of Jinepa? Does anybody know? In Tibetan.
Chitta, Chitta Waiter,
Ah, you're just reading it. What does that mean, though? Since you read it so well.
uh, Chitta Way is the real way of the things are. Something like that.
Yeah, that's what the answer says. Tawa means to view or look at. Ji again means how. So how things, the real way things actually should be viewed, or how they actually are. And then Chi means the same thing. Ji Tao Wei Chi. All right, cool. Thanks, Jessica.
Okay.
All right, question two. Oh my God, I'm cold. The Buddha cannot be a being who is totally correct if he has any state of mind which is not valid or correct perception. Recollection, perceiving something that you have already perceived earlier, is not considered a correct perception because you perceived only an image of the object you saw before, not the object itself. Does the Buddha ever see something he saw before? And does this mean he is capable of perception that is not correct? Uh, yeah. What do people think? Does the Buddha have recollection? And if so, does that mean if he, she, they are not seeing things correctly?
Don't Buddha perceive the three times at the same time?
Yes.
So that means their what we consider recollection is actually direct perception for Buddha.
Just because a Buddha sees things of the three times, it's not necessarily the case that they don't also have memory. Correct?
Correct.
I already got you. You lost the debate. So that a Buddha could be in the past, present, and future, seeing all things, but still have the mental function of memory and see things as a memory too, right?
It would be so complicated. He
You
would
already agreed.
still
You
see
already agreed to that.
memory.
You, you already said yes.
Yes, just because, like you said, I agree with that statement. Just because you can perceive directly the past doesn't mean you also don't have the recollection.
So you think the Buddha's an idiot?
No,
You just said that.
I think it makes logical sense that one does not exclude the other.
Exactly. Therefore, the Buddha's an idiot.
You said that. I didn't.
The logical implication of the Buddha having seeing memories would be that the Buddha was incorrect, and therefore he's an idiot.
Perceive himself in the present as perceiving himself as remembering something in the
Yeah,
past.
as an idiot.
That would make a direct perception.
He can have a direct perception of him indirectly being an idiot.
Oh my God, that is so.
I mean, my logic is actually true, right? Uh, but yeah, you're right. I mean, you're right. Even if the Buddha had memory, that memory wouldn't be a real memory because he's omniscient, something like that, right? Even the Buddha's memories are omniscient. Even all his memories have to be correct because he's omniscient. I don't know, something like that. Um, Here we go. Read this and vindicate yourself, Maria.
The Buddha sees all things of the past, present, and future simultaneously all the time. Therefore, he does not rely upon recollection, but is instead always perceiving everything directly and freshly. Oh, so he chooses not to rely on his ability to remember things.
Yeah,
That
he
is,
does not rely upon it, although he must be able to engage it because he has all mental functions because he's omniscient and he's got to have all functions of mind, right?
Mhm.
I mean, otherwise he wouldn't be omniscient. He must be omniscient. He must have omniscient memory that's unfailing, you know?
Why would the memory be omniscient though? If it's
Because he's omniscient.
I'll cook it.
Cool?
Thank
That's a
you.
good question.
Yeah.
So he's not calling things, he's perceiving the past directly. It's not like you couldn't call, like, you wouldn't say he's remembering the past perfectly. You would say he's perceiving the past omnisciently or directly.
Well, that's our argument right now, Mike. That's what me and Maria are discussing. Um, because if the Buddha's omniscient, he must have all mental functions, correct?
Right.
Okay. And one of the mental functions is recollection, correct?
Yes.
So the Buddha must have recollection as one of his mental functions, correct?
Right.
But recollection is supposedly faulty, correct?
In a non-omniscient being.
I didn't say that. Recollection is supposed to be faulty, yes?
Yes.
Okay. But to your point, yes, if the Buddha's recollection would have to be some sort of recollection that was perfect, because even his recollection must be a direct sort of recollection. So therefore, you might not even want to call it recollection, but he has to have some sort of recollection because he's got all mental functions. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So I don't know if this is still a Kappa Mahjong answer, I think, you know. But I mean, and this is the key word which Maria highlighted, rely, right? Like he doesn't rely on it. So, Kappa Mahjong. Um, Tamche means all. Kempa means knowing in honorific. So this is a Tibetan for omniscient. By the way, it's the exact word. Omni means all, right? Like omnipotent, all powerful, omniscient, all knowing. Omni, that science magazine. And Science means science. Science actually means to know. All right. This SCE means to know. It comes into conscience too, or conscientious, all those words. Anyway, Kempa means to know, literally. And Cheshe is one of the ways to say recollect in Tibetan. All right. Good. Good debate. Question 3. What are the 3 main methods for a noble person to determine that the Buddha is totally correct about the very deep teachings he gave? Tibetan track give the name of one of the 3 and explain in English. Give the one name. Give the one name for the 3. Sorry about that. And explain in English. All right. What are the 3 main methods? Anybody? Even if you're reading the answer, tell me.
Was it cut, file, and burn?
Yeah. those are the usual main three methods. Yeah. Cutting, burning, and filing. Sometimes they say a touchstone instead of filing, like a chemical test. Um, but and sometimes they say bang instead of burn. Dong. But yeah, what is there's a one name for the three?
I don't know.
I don't know. I know Chasek Chasek Dar. Is anybody? I don't know. Anybody?
It is Jepasum.
Oh yeah. Okay.
It's for to confirm the statement correct by three tests.
Yeah, the three,
Yeah.
the three cuts, which aren't three cuts. Yeah, good. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you. Um, and each one represents a form of perception. I'll read it. Uh, oops. Hold on. The teachings cannot be disproved by any direct valid perception that we have or have had. That's represented by cutting, meaning to cut gold, metaphorically. Um, the teachings cannot be disproved by any airtight reasoning. That's represented by the metaphor of melting gold. And then the teachings themselves are free of any internal inconsistency. Nothing that Lord Buddha said at one time contradicts what he said at another time. Uh-oh, that's a complicated issue um, called Changye, but that is called authoritative um, perception, authoritative reasoning, reasoning by belief, meaning someone you really believe told you and you really believe them. And that's represented by filing, sometimes a chemical test. Um, yeah, chepa sum. Sum means three. Oh, this chepa means examinations. The three ways of examining or investigating, looking at closely, something like that. All right, good. Um, Question 4. Name and describe briefly the three ground rules for interpreting the Buddha. That is, for deciding that something which Lord Buddha said was meant only figuratively and not literally. Uh-oh. We should learn these. They come up again in course 15. Roxanne, do you know?
If he was talking about emptiness, then he was talking literally. If not, he was talking figuratively. But what was the third?
It is first based on the true intent. Secondly, based on to examine that it is contradiction or not. And third is based on the big purpose or the compelling need. That's up
Oh, okay, good.
three.
Thank you so much. Um, yeah, let's go over them. Thank you. Okay, so true intent. So Lord Buddha must have something else specific in mind when he said something that was which was not literal. So we have to have an we have to consider the audience and the time and timing of any given teaching in terms of what Lord Buddha was saying. Um, so it can, in which case, he may have said something which was less than literal to suit the audience. So you have to take that in consideration. Contradiction. The statement Lord Buddha made must contradict what we really know to be actually true. Um, yeah. There must be some, let me see. It's going to be figurative if we know, if we are aware that it is definitively not true. Is that right? Yeah. Meaning, again, Lord Buddha will say things that will seem contradictory, um, specific to the time and place. And if that is the case, he, um, we know that it is figurative, meaning it's not that it's not true, but it is relevant to the situation and therefore contradicts the literal truth, but it can be interpreted, which therefore means figurative. Oy. All right. And need. There must be some compelling need or purpose served by the Buddha saying something which is not technically true. Um, yeah. And so I think this underlies both A and B, meaning um, the Buddha, a teacher, a Lama, is always going to do the thing which is going to get the students enlightened the quickest. All right. And in my understanding, if there's people in the audience who understand in a broader sense, the teacher is going to say things for the students who may not understand in a broader sense and leave it to the students who do understand the broader sense to understand that it's figurative. Does that make sense?
Yes, teacher. In this case, like Buddha said, let's kill your parents, your teacher, something like that.
The Buddha taught 90% of what the Buddha said was falls under this category. The first school, second school, third school, and half of the fourth school is this. So yes, that statement is also a metaphor, what you just said, but most of what the Buddha taught is figurative. All right. Unless he was, and this goes back to Roxana's comment, unless he was on Vulture Peak saying nothing exists, there is no eyes, ears, nose, mouth, touch, then it's figurative. It falls under one of these categories. All right. Um, question 5. Name 2 purposes why Master Jagnaga stated the words "who turned" in the opening lines of his work, the Compendium on Valid Perception. Anybody? Why is it "who turned" and not "is," for instance?
To give us hope
Exactly. And why would it give us hope?
that we too can become enlightened. We don't have to be jackasses all the time. There's hope.
Very good, yeah. There's hope. That even the worst amongst us can become Buddhas, okay? Yeah. Kirpa. Did he say Kirpa? Does he say Girwa? 1 second. I'm checking. Hold on. Yeah. He says Kirpa. Mm-hmm. Who turned, who became. Good. Yes. A. To make it clear that the Buddha wasn't always a Buddha, that he turned into a Buddha from an imperfect state. Good. And what's the second purpose?
He already find the path to be enlightened from a normal person. he find the path that he become enlightenment.
Okay, good, thank you. Um, yeah, not exactly what Jessica said, but very close. Yeah, it's similar. It's related, I should say. Yeah, he was imperfect, and there is some way, you could say, to become a Buddha, okay? Which also hopefully gives us some hope. It's hopeful if you're doing it. It's hopeless if you're not. All right, that's it. So I had to rush a little bit today. I am busy. Um, but we'll have regular class tomorrow at our regular time. Wait, Loan, did you cut your hair?
Yes, I just cut my hair this
Oh,
morning.
oh wow. It looks nice.
Yes, because I wanna donate it for cancer patient.
Oh wow. You
Yeah.
can donate some to me too. There's teachers in need around the world waiting for your donations of hair. Uh, it looks good, Loan. I like it. Okay, that's it. We'll have class tomorrow, regular time. Thank you so much for coming, and see you tomorrow. Bye.
See you
Bye.
tomorrow.